There we go. Now I'm unmuted. Can you guys hear me or what? I haven't done this in so long. Can't even work it. Okay, it should be live on YouTube. Let's go see. Let's go watch myself on YouTube, actually. It's a good idea. Good way of starting the stream. Is it actually on? Good way of starting the stream. Yes, it is. It's working. Good. I'm supposed to do something. Oh yeah, post on Instagram that I'm live. Need to get some people over here. Actually, we haven't spammed the Drakes in a long time. Maybe someone could. I'm not on Facebook anymore. Maybe someone could remind the Drakes that I'm live right now. Let's see. I know. I'll just do a story. Hey, all you idiots on Instagram looking at booby pictures, I'm live on YouTube. You should join because there's only 33 people here. Instagram looking at booby pictures. Yes. I'm live on YouTube. Okay. Let's see if we can get some more people on here. Questions. Yeah, we're going to have Q&A. So if you really want me to answer questions, then super chats, right? Wasn't that the thing? I think they come here in the back end. Yeah, I think so. I think they're enabled. I can't remember. Last time I remember some people sent me 99 cents and I answered their questions. Okay, it's 10 past. We need to start. We only have 38 people here. Okay, so I don't know if it's good or bad news, but the season is over. So I'm going to be spending more time at home, which means that I will be more active here on YouTube. Woohoo! So I'll do some more regular live videos, and also on Instagram I'll do some quick ones, just ask for some questions, get some questions, and then respond to them. So I'll be doing that over the winter, at least until DNC in February. Next week I'm going to South America for 3 weeks with Lefty and Robert Battle, and I don't know how the internet's going to be over there and what I can do, but as soon as I get back, I'll start doing stuff. And what else? What else is current affairs? I'm not sure. Feel like I'm forgetting something. 39 people. It's not going up. Maybe later. Okay, so the topics for today. I'm going to write another book. So we have the Invisible Speed book, of course, now available in, well, French language is sold out. So it's available in English, German, Spanish, Italian. French is sold out. But now what I would like to do is improve a few chapters, a few sections, fix some mistakes, improve on some things that I think I can explain better, but also add some chapters because there are things that I think should be included that aren't. And mainly they have to do with driving and practicing. Driving technique, what separates the sort of better drivers from not as good drivers. What are they doing differently? And how to practice and improve. Those are things I want to include. And also sort of racecraft slash RC career management in a way, I think. And part of that is also the sort of sponsorship aspect. And if someone wants to really become as good as possible and professional in RC, advice for those kind of things. But do you have any ideas from your side and suggestions for what I should include in the next book? So it's basically this plus more information. I want to do it over Christmas. I'll take a bit of a break, but I can't just not do anything. I know that for a fact. But if I try and not do anything for a few days, then after a few days, I can not do anything except write that book or update to the book. So in the comments, please write some ideas for what I should include in the book. Also, another thing that I really would like to do next year is I enjoy making videos, but I enjoy making videos that I feel are good, so that I'm actually proud of them. Like, wow, that's a good one. I like that. But to do that takes more effort and time. And effort, sure, I can put in effort, but I don't really have time. So what I would like to do is do at least one such video next year. So an example of a good video is the engine tuning video. So I'm sure most of you watching have seen the engine tuning video. It was the first attempt of a sort of tutorial kind of video that I did, and worked out pretty good. A lot of good feedback on that. So while I'm not sort of happy with let's say production value of it completely, it's still decent and it gets the message across. But I would like to make or do a similar project for next year. So also, let's come up with a topic for the video for next year. So if the big video was how to tune your engine and the engine braking, those two videos, that was my project and I did that. What would next year's video project be? Something which would be really valuable and a lot of people would appreciate and enjoy. So let's come up with that also. A lot of people asking about silly season and transfer room as well. The problem is that I know most of them, so I can't really comment. You see, something rather interesting happened. There's actually a meme about this. The meme is a Batman Joker meme, and it's the guy saying that before you make it, no one wants to be your friend, and then when you've made it, then everyone wants to be a friend. Kind of that's the gist of it. I can't remember what the slogan was, but anyway, what was interesting was that after this year, European Championship first, David Ronnefalk Mayako Worlds, really good performance, second, but everyone saw from 11th place to second at the Worlds, passing everyone, passing some really good drivers in a way which sort of quite honestly made them look silly, even though it was the A main at the Worlds. I think that captured the attention of many top drivers, and there are a lot of them who have contacted Mayako to see if there was an opportunity to run for Mayako next year. So there have been talks with a number of drivers, and because of that, I know a lot of what's going to happen here over the next few weeks. So I can't really speculate or comment because it's not speculation, I know. for Mayako, I can say that one new driver is already signed. And actually, he's not just a driver, he's also going to be, the title is Mayako Motorsports Director. So he's going to be more than just a driver. He still races, he can still be competitive, he can still win races, but that's not why he's being hired. He will be the link between the factory and customers. He will take on a lot of the responsibility that I have had, which I never wanted really in this Mayako project. It's just that we haven't had a person to take care of those things, but now we're going to have that person. So that's great. So he's already signed. So that makes the world champion driver count 2. And then there's a third one who hasn't signed but looks likely. Let's put it that way. At least he says that he wants to do it. And he has a proposal and everything, and it looks like it's going to happen. So for Mayako, this silly season has been very good. We had a good first year. We definitely did the right choice by signing Ronnefalk. At that point, it was like, if we're going to sign someone, it's Ronnefalk. If not, we're going to wait. So that was the right choice. And now, because of that, and because of the success in the first year, we didn't have to go looking for drivers. They came to us, and we were able to then make sort of take calculated risks in where to invest and what to do. Video idea. The basics, how to unfuck your car. Yeah, that's actually, if I think about it more, that could be a good one to sort of really do it properly, like a proper video about that. Because mostly when I help people, it's always the same things. So there are a lot of these sort of Adam Drake how to use a body clip videos out there, but basically they are, if you look at them, they are all on that subject, like how to unfuck your car, set your ride, how to do this, do that. But if a really sort of high production level proper video really hit that point home to people, maybe that could be an idea. Really, that could be valuable for a lot of people. Where was I? Silly season. Yeah, silly season was good. Next year, Mayako will be in a better position than first year. First year, a lot of issues behind the scenes, at least. Things didn't quite go to plan. To the outside, hopefully it looked good. I guess it did because of the interest. Yeah, so don't forget, book and video idea. So additional chapters for the book, ideas in the comments, and proper major effort put into a video ideas also. Something like the engine tuning video, but a new topic for next year. Show you something new. And then we're going to do Q&A there at the end. So if you want me to see questions you have now, then you better super chat those. So we have something new here. Mayako. Yes. Nice yellow box. Very nice. I like it. We have that because of this. And this is a new Mayako kit, which is Mayako MX-8 regional version. So this one is just a sort of generic European edition. So Europe edition developed for your track. But each country where we have a service center has their own regional kit. This means that you can now purchase a Mayako buggy locally. You don't have to get it from China anymore. Now you can also get it locally. That's a big change from the first year, where you know that first you had to be a member to be able to buy a car from China. And then this year, you didn't need to be a member anymore, but you could only buy the car from China direct. So now for next year, the new thing is that we'll also introduce this Mayako MX-8, just a standard version that you can buy locally. Now, I'm also building my car here. I'm building a car new for South America. All the latest bits. So all the nice option parts, all the nice carbon bits. Thank you to T-Works for all the titanium screws and turnbuckles and stuff. Got a nice lightened chassis here. I was waiting on hubs. I just received them from FedEx, but didn't have time to install them. And I could actually show you those, because the thing that's sort of unique about Mayako, and will be more obvious next year, is the difference between being a member and not being a member. A lot of people talking a lot of crap about the whole membership bullshit and this and that. That doesn't make sense. Well, yes, it does make sense. You just don't get it. So let's take a look here. I'm gonna explain something to you. If I can find the browser. There we go. That's lost us. Before I show that, let's check some comments. Any good comments here? CT Racing, we in Colombia are very interested in getting Mayako to grow. We would love to get in touch with you to make it possible. Yes, just you have to wait another couple of weeks, because once we sign our new motorsports director here, and once we make our trip to South America, then everything will become clear. Show the value of invisible speed if they want more than the basics of an unfucked car. That's another good one. A proper video explaining the value of invisible speed. That's a good idea too. Nainoa has all the good ideas. Jesus. A no holds barred, fly on the wall documentary style with you and David at a big race. That could be good, but it's hard to accomplish. It would be a good, I think more so it would be a good video to do next year, because there'll be more top level drivers, not just David. Do a typical race day walkthrough, prep thoughts going into Q1, mindset on Q1 to make changes for Q2, etc. If the contract is signed, why keep it secret? Because we have to do a proper release and all that. When is the invisible speed draw for cars by David or Robert? Yeah, I think we'll do that when we are all together there in South America. Okay, I'm gonna share something with you here. How did I do that? Share screen. Window. Okay. Hopefully you see a website here. Write in the comments if you don't, but you should see a Mayako website here. I don't know if you've ever been to mayako.com, but it's a pretty good site. We have all kinds of information here for you. You should go and check that out, mayako.com. But we aren't going to check that now. What we are going to check is the web shop, because I'm going to show you something. Web shop, pretty good too. All kinds of links here you can click on. Looks nice. But we only have race cars, spare parts membership here. Actually, I'll show you something. If you ever want to buy anything from Mayako, this is the best way. Express order. So on this page, all the parts are listed like this. And you can just, for example, you can sort them by part number. That's my favorite. This is my favorite. Sorted by part number. You can add the quantities you want. And then right at the bottom of the page, you can add all to the cart. So this is way faster than scrolling through all the pages. This is so much easier to place orders. Or if you have placed an order in the past, or maybe you know someone who has placed an order and you want to order the same stuff or use it as a base, you can actually do that too. But you have to have an account for that. So when you have an account, another sort of box pops up here where you can insert an order number and then select that, and it will pre-fill all of the items in that order. Perfect for making sort of new team driver orders and stuff, or new service center orders. Anyway, let's log in and I'm going to show you something. Okay. So now we're in my account, and now you see member area popped up here. That wasn't there before. Membership was here, but I'm a member, so I can go in here and look at this. Sheesh. Okay, so we have a big discount on the buggies and discounts on parts too. But the more important thing is we have parts here that aren't available for non-members. So this, for example, is the new 3-piece rear hub that we have. So you can adjust the length of the link and the height of the link with shims. New stuff. You can also adjust the offset with this hub. So these arms have inserts that you put in the end to change the offset. So these work hand in hand with those hubs. We also have this lightweight chassis. So it's sort of stock chassis that's just been milled more. It's about 35 grams lighter than stock. So why am I telling you this? Because as a non-member, you can purchase a Mayako buggy. You can purchase a Mayako buggy locally. You can build it. You can have fun. You can win races. You're going to enjoy it. But if you are more involved in this hobby, if you enjoy your racing and you want to improve, or you like the tinkering side of it, you like the setup side, you like the development, or you are a young racer and you want to have the best possible equipment and support, and you want to become a pro one day, then the membership makes sense. Because when you are a member, you get in this member area, and all the new stuff that we develop will be here. It will be here in prototype form before it's available to the public, or it will be here and only here. So, for example, this 3-piece hub is for members only. You can't get this as a non-member. Non-members have their own CNC rear hub. But it's not the 3-piece one. It's a different one. It's this one. This is an option part that non-members can buy. CNC rear hub. You can adjust the height, axle height, carbon plates for the link. So it still functions well, but it's not the member one, is it? So basically, you have a good car, which I would say is equal to any other car on the market as a non-member. If you become a member, then you can get parts that are not normally available, and often not even available for anyone with many other brands. That's the idea. So as we develop the cars, new parts will be available for members first. Some of those will later be available for everyone. Some will only be available for members forever. So there will be two different specs of the car, basically. There's the Mayako MX-8, and then there's the Mayako MX-8 Members Edition. That's how we're going to do this next year. This was always the plan, but to launch something new like this, we had to do it where first you had to be a member to buy the car. Then you could also buy the car without being a member. And now there will be these two sort of clear, or let's say there will be a more clear distinction between Mayako MX-8 and a Mayako MX-8 Members Edition. Cody Taylor says the live videos for members is awesome. Yeah, so I'm not going to go in there now on this live. Would maybe have to be a recorded video, but as a member, you also have access to Discord, and on the Discord channel, everyone who has a Mayako can be there. But then there's also a section only for members, and that's where we can discuss development of these parts or signing new drivers and that kind of stuff. So that's another reason to be a member. Like I said, if you have goals in RC racing, you want to be more involved, that's how you can be more involved, because Ronne Falk is on there, I'm on there, other people, the new side drivers will be on there. You will have access to people you wouldn't normally have access to on a whole different level. That's the idea of this Mayako project. And people don't understand that when you have an idea to do something, you can't immediately have everything you want work perfectly. It takes time. You have to build it up step by step. So what we will have with Mayako, I don't know, maybe 2 years from now, was the original idea. Like, that's what we wanted. It just takes time to get there. So 1 month into Mayako, people were talking shit. Well, so what? It doesn't matter. They don't get it. It takes time. I remember when the two shit fountains were talking about the club. What did they call it? The club? Or I can't remember. Some stupid shit anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Okay. My son races for another brand, but your information and explanation is awesome. Thanks. Well, you're welcome. I hope you have at least supported by getting a book or a course. I guess watching just YouTube is fine too. I was supposed to say something. I forgot. What's the best address to buy for Switzerland? For Mayako, Tony Sport in Germany. You can get Mayako there. Actually, I'll show you something I forgot to show you. Yeah, in the shop. I'll share the screen again. So when you are here in the Mayako shop, here on the right, you can select your store. So the international is everything that ships from China. So when we have new stuff, it's always immediately available there. But then there's some delay to ship it to USA or to Europe. So if you're super eager, just buy it from international. And mostly sort of everything is always in stock in international. Sometimes stuff is out of stock in America or Europe. So international store, anyone can buy from anywhere in the world. Problem is shipping costs. They're more expensive. And if your customs are shit in your country, well, that's an issue too. Then store USA. So we have logistics company in America that ships out stuff. I've heard they have been really good. Place an order, you receive it quickly. Shipping is decent. So yeah, if you're in America, you can buy from the USA store. If you're in Europe, you can buy from the Europe store, and they have been super fast with their shipments. Shipping is decent, but the speed has been really good. So some people have said that they've ordered stuff and got it the next day. That's pretty crazy. I don't know what the average is. I would guess like 2 to 4 days you have your stuff. So yeah, remember that. Mayako itself operates web shops internationally from China, USA, in USA to USA, in Europe to Europe. And then in addition to this, we have service centers. So Ronnefalk Racing in Sweden, Tony Sport Germany, Big Bang Hobbies in Spain, Model Tune in Ireland and the UK. There are a number of service centers now also in America. So not just the USA store, but also people who carry parts to races and so on. Yeah. When's the Truggy coming out? Truggy, there will be a prototype next year. The goal is to have a running Mayako prototype for DNC. It's going to be a members only project all of next year, definitely. E-Buggy also. So E-Buggy was originally supposed to be production now going into the new year, but it won't be. So it's going to be a prototype at least until the Worlds next year. Apparently there's going to be a E-Buggy Worlds next year. It's not been announced yet, but that's what I'm hearing. So after that race, then we would have a production E-Buggy also. Yeah. What else? Yeah, silly season I can't talk about really because I know where people are going. The one thing I don't know is if Mugen are going to get any drivers or if it's going to be the Drake and Kilic. That I don't know. For the book, I was asking for ideas for Invisible Speed. I want to update it. I want to add stuff about driving. So driving advice, how to practice, sort of if you want to become as good as possible, what should you do? How do you approach it? You know, sponsorships, how to make the most of your opportunities in RC, those kind of things. Oh yeah, Shit Fountains called the Mayako thing a cult. Yeah, I remember that. Do members get discounts on shipping from China? No, everyone gets the cheapest shipping that we can offer without completely, losing everything on shipping. It's just a fact that due to COVID, due to Russia starting a war in Ukraine, all these things that are going on in the world right now, shipping is super expensive. And also, actually, shipping companies are just raising the prices because they can. It's like an excuse for them to raise prices. So it is what it is. What is BeachRC going to do for you? I don't know. I don't think BeachRC is going to do anything for us. They're doing their S-Works. Hello from Greece, Malaka. I remember that. Add two-wheel drive buggy section for non-driven wheels. So Invisible Speed. I guess I can show you. Invisible Speed. I still haven't updated those last videos like rear diff, bump steer, drive shaft bind, all that stuff that I need to update. I haven't done that, but we have added a whole bunch of on-road videos. So share this again. Here we have an on-road course. If you're an on-road guy, buy this because we're sharing the profits with Hagberg here. But whichever course you buy, you'll have all the videos. So here you can see all the videos marked on-road are the on-road ones. So there's a whole bunch of them added. Building a complete 12 scale car, building a 10 scale car. So these I haven't renamed yet. It took forever to upload, but these are on-road videos too. And then module 10 is the one most people are interested in, understanding your car, deep dive into setup. We will also start adding on-road videos in here. So these different things that we talk about, jacking, roll centers, down travel, up travel, camber, these kind of things, we'll have on-road specific videos about them also. Because while the theory is the same in all racing, all different classes, the theory works the same. The application is different, and what we want is different. So that's why it makes sense to have these videos, but then also make specific ones for different classes. And my whole point with this, showing you this, is that 8 scale off-road was the beginning. Now we added on-road. Later on, we will add 10 scale off-road. And 10 scale off-road has dirt and carpet as two sort of distinct categories also. But I mean, this is something that it depends on interest and sales. So if, you know, on-road sales are good and Hogbad is happy, I'm happy, okay. When we've finished the videos that are need to be made now, and others that are already filmed that need to be edited, when that's done, then we can consider expanding into 10th scale off-road. Need to find a person who would be sort of the 10th scale guy. One idea was this Australian fellow. What's his name now? I contacted him before. He has some really good videos online about 10 scale off-road. Damn, I can't remember his name now, but anyway, that guy. Hopefully he would work with me on that. If you haven't bought the course, you're missing out. Do it. You can thank me later. Jason Roberts, thank you. Hey, JQ, thanks for your cool work, job, and Mayako power. You're great for this hobby. Says JDC. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Not everyone would agree with that. We've just had discussions about this topic. Okay. Will BeachRC be carrying all Mayako vehicles? If so, when? I mean, you should ask BeachRC. As of right now, I don't think so. A Main carries Mayako already, and I'm sure they'll get the regional kits also. Well, this is something definitely most people would disagree with. Me too, actually. Like, I don't think I'm a good ambassador, really. I'm too much of an asshole for that. But I do think that I am a sort of positive force in RC. I do think so. Like I would say, like, the whole invisible speed thing and teaching all of that is good, and trying to unite the industry in a way. So working with Hogbad and X-Ray and all of these things, that is a good thing. The RCGP project is a good thing. In that sense, it's good. But like me as a person, as an ambassador, I don't think so. Like most people probably who would come across me, like they are new in RC and they would come across me. I'm not that guy. Like, no, in that sense, I don't think I am the greatest ambassador. Definitely not. But if you want to learn how to tune your engine, yeah, okay, then I have a good video for that. Or just want to improve in RC, then the whole invisible speed thing is good, definitely. You know, and if RCGP, if all the manufacturers took it seriously and it actually worked how it's supposed to, that would be a good thing for RC. But it's sort of separate from me, so that's yeah, that's what I think. But thank you anyway. Will Ty Tessman be on the Mayako team this year? There's no way. Ty will never run a Mayako. Ty, no problem, but Gord, there's no way. Oh, Gord. God help me. That's just not going to happen. If Ty cuts the umbilical cord, what is that? Is that the right word? Then to God, then maybe, but no. I'd just say no. Even then, no. So Ty won't be on Mayako. Is the new driver American? So the one that signed is not American, but the one who says he wants to join hasn't signed yet. He is American. So there could possibly be an American driver who is a world champion and who can win races. If you're looking for a great young driver, talk with Bartek Zalewski, third junior in Spain, 10th scale driver, and this season 1/8 driver. Yeah, I know he's really good. I don't know him, but I know who you mean. I think if I'm not mistaken, this was the guy at 8 scale electric Euros who had that amazing race with Robert in the last chance. He didn't bump. Robert got him on the last lap, like next to last corner, but still, I think that was the guy. Okay, so any more book ideas? And video ideas. Book and video ideas. Let's do that. Need some book and video ideas. Additional book chapters and one video that I put a lot of effort into next year to make really good. The topic for that video. We actually had over 100 people here. It's good. First live in a very long time, so we need to start doing this more. The book should be volume 2 to complement the first one. Yeah, I thought about that, but I think that it makes sense to just make an updated book because it's not really too thick at the moment. It's decent, but I mean, it's not that long, really. So if you make a volume 2, then someone who doesn't have the book yet would have to buy both. That doesn't really make sense. Also, the order of the new stuff isn't all such that it would make sense that it's in a second book, because some of the stuff would be sort of early on, some in the middle, and some towards the end. So it just would make this book a lot better to include the new information here. So that's what I'm going to do. So just a second full second edition of this book. That I think it's the best choice. So yeah, if you have this one already, well, it would make sense to get the new one. Then if you enjoyed this one, it would make sense to get the new one. And if you don't have a book, you can get the new one, and that's that. Need a setup video for drivers. Yeah, that's how to set up your driver. How did the guy do at the Worlds that you took his car, fixed it at the Worlds? I think he was an HB driver. Yeah, he was from Costa Rica, I think, HB guy. He was like in one of the last mains, but that was, or first mains, lowest mains. But that's kind of the idea also, that you take someone who isn't as good, isn't as experienced, and needs the help, and you see what difference you can make. And the difference we made is like over a second a lap, I think it was. Like he did 3 qualifying runs, we helped him, and then the next day every qualifying run, so that remaining 3 runs were all like 10 seconds or more faster than the previous one. So clearly there was a difference, clearly it helped. So yeah, just to show that at every level car setup matters. At every level, you can improve if you improve your car. It's just that how can I explain this best? When you aren't that good a driver, you can make bigger gains by just driving better also. Someone like Ronnefalk, he is able to maximize the performance of the car by driving. He can't make big gains by just driving better. So when he adjusts the car, he is making it faster, and he will be faster. A less skilled driver, you can change the car and be faster, but you can also just change your driving and be faster. And most of the time, you just need to change your car so that it's decent, it's good. Okay, fix the obvious things to make it sort of easy, stable, calm. Okay, and then you stop changing the car and you just focus on your driving and improve your driving. And yeah, that's really the best advice for the majority of people out there, I would say. I think a good rule of thumb would be that when you can do consistent laps, so you can go out there, can drive consistent laps, you can do consistent 5-minute times. Like you can run about the same result 3 times in a row, 5-minute result. Okay, then it starts to make sense to make changes on the car, because now you're clearly consistent. You can repeatedly do the same thing out there. Then you can start making changes to the car. Most people can't do that. Most people can't run consistent 5-minute times. So at that point, it's not about the car, it's about you. Your view on the no shock tower experiment. So I guess the Nemo N1, I think it was called. So there are 2 things I have to say about that. I don't really have a good way to show you here. I'll just try to explain it. So one of the things is, okay, so the idea with the Nemo car is to lower the center of gravity. Well, yes, okay. I am pretty sure that the center of gravity is lower than the way they did it, especially in the rear. But they also put the complete shock above the diff, which on a normal car, if you look at it, a lot, like part of the shock body and the shaft and the lower attachment and all that is low. So you aren't actually lowering the center of gravity as much as you think, because you are putting all the shocks and all the attachments high up. Do you see what I mean? So where a lot of it's low down on the shock now, all of it's high up on the Nemo N1. So that's one thing. Like if you wanted to do something like that, it would also make sense to put the shocks lower down. That's one thing. That's kind of a smaller gripe with it, I guess. The bigger thing is, I think they will have issues due to the fact that they made the shocks so short. So when they need the same travel, but they have a very short shock, which means that the piston speed is very low. Now, remember that the way our shocks work is we use pack to achieve the damping we want. Unlike any real race car or dirt bike or whatever, they would not stay on the track with our shocks, basically. Because the way their shocks work is they never lock up. That's disaster. You lose all traction if your shock locks up, you know. But we use that to our advantage because we are then able to use a sort of softer, supple setting to sort of allow the chassis to roll, dive, pitch, move, give the tires and driver time to react as you drive around the track. But then it firms up enough to handle harsher bumps that you hit at speed or landing jumps and such. In full scale shocks, they have valving and all kinds of ways of having different low speed and high speed damping. We don't have that. So our low speed damping is what we set, and the high speed damping is our pack, basically. So how the shock locks up. So if you have a piston that travels at a very low speed, it won't pack up, right? It will pack up much, much less than our conventional suspension geometry pistons, because shocks, because the pistons are traveling so much faster there. So the problem they will have is the relationship between their low speed damping, which is how the car handles as it rolls in the corner, or like you drive through a chicane, it rolls one way, rolls the other way, the sort of feeling you have driving the car around the track. The relationship between that damping, the low speed damping, and then the damping that happens when you hit a bump at high speed or when you land a jump. So anytime when the wheel moves fast and the suspension compresses quickly, the piston is moving so slowly that it doesn't pack up. So, I have some ideas how they could solve this problem, which I'm obviously not going to reveal in a YouTube live stream right now, but that will be their challenge. And I've seen the car run, and the problem it's bottoming out everywhere. Even like you brake and it bottoms out. You can literally hear the chassis hit the ground, right? Every jump, small bump, it just bottoms out. And that's because you set the car to handle the corners, and then it doesn't handle those other sections, because the relationship between low speed and high speed damping being pack, is off. So they have to, that's something they need to figure out. And I think the way they did it, they're going to have a hard time figuring that out. So that's my opinion on that. I think it would be good to add to the book something like a troubleshooting. I came to a track, the car runs quite good, but I can't keep up with the others, how to set up. Yeah, actually, that reminds me. So another thing that's sort of missing from the book is, one is the whole initial grip versus overall grip clear explanation with which settings are for initial grip, which are for overall grip, like the directions and all that. It's in the downloadable documents, and if you are in the Invisible Speed course, we have covered that extensively in live videos and such, but it needs to be in the book also, really clearly explained. So that needs to be there. And then the other thing is, like you say, a sort of troubleshooting section in a way. There are sort of examples of what to do on different tracks at the end of the book, but that could be done a lot better, I think. Just in the way to make a sort of good place to reference quickly, and then in that quick reference section have, okay, if you want to read more about this, go to page whatever. So basically, if you're at the track and you feel like initial steering is too nervous on your car, but after that, like maybe the car even pushes, or maybe it's fine, but the initial steering is the problem, then you have different ways of attacking that. What should you do? And then there would be a quick reference guide there, like on a low grip track, do this, on a high grip track, do that, to reduce that initial steering, And then the examples below that, like, okay, change the steering link position on the steering knuckle, go longer. therefore for it, or go to a longer plate, shorter link on the steering knuckle to reduce initial steering. Okay, that could be an example in the quick reference section, and then it would say read more on page 97, and then you could go there and read a whole chapter about that, so that would be a good thing, I think, to add. What's the best single feature of the MX8 in your opinion, not counting the C-Hub design? Single feature. I think that adjustable diff height, because it's something that we have used and it makes a noticeable, significant difference. Yes, it's a way to gain speed at the track that doesn't how can I explain this? It's the same car, just adapted to the type of track. It feels the same. It feels comfortable. It doesn't throw it all out to balance or whack. It's just like, okay, this traction level is higher on this track. Okay, we're going to raise the diff. It's kind of loose here. We're going to lower the diff. It's bumpy here. We're going to lower the diff. It's a really good change. And it just makes it to where you can get the most out of the car in any condition. So I would say single feature, the adjustable diff height. I don't know if this is a single feature, but I think another thing I could say about the MX8, which I think is its strength, is how the basic setup is pretty much most things just in the middle. And then you are able to adjust everything. First of all, you are able to adjust more things than on most cars. Like, for example, the diff height is one of those things. But you are able to adjust from that base setting in both directions, but not very much. So for that to be possible, you have to have the tuning windows designed in a way that they are in the right place. Right. There's no right, but in a compatible place. Everything on the car is compatible with each other. And the tuning window is in both directions, but it's small, which means that at the race, you can comfortably and confidently make changes, and you aren't going to go too far. All the combinations work on the car. It's just a matter of preference, what you want to adjust and in what way. So it's a car with endless fine-tuning options, I would say. But when you change enough of them, you can change the sort of character of the car. Or you like a car that's very stable and the rear has a lot of traction and it's easy to drive. Okay, you can do that. Or you want a car that has a lot more steering. You don't need to turn the wheel that much. You can do that too. There's a sort of clear basic nature of the car where it won't surprise you. It's stable in that sense. Your inputs is what drives the car, not the car reacting to the track and you having to correct it all the time, right? But within that frame, you can still make enough changes to where you change the sort of feel of the car to be either less steering, more steering on power, more steering off power. That does that make sense? So it's not exactly one feature, but just that idea that you have a small tuning window, but you can adjust a lot more than on most cars. and you can feel confident making those changes because the adjustment windows are in the right places. World's guy, yeah, he said it was too late for him. And also someone's asking many times like what I'm drinking, but not drinking anything. I had what I was drinking was some don't tell any Italians, but some limoncello and Monster Energy. It's a really good drink. Mike says that the best feature of the car is the Mayako community. Well, that I think is the best feature of owning the car. This is kind of what I explained. Not exactly adding the sheets, but still that idea, like the initial versus overall grip section, have that in the book and all that. Would it be a situation that you would not run a sway bar? No. For 8 scale, no. 8 scale, I would always run an anti-roll bar. It's worth it. It's just better. Always. Even on really bumpy track or low grip track, you always you need maybe it's the thinnest bar, 2 mil, 2.1, like you still need it there. Otherwise, it just stops the crazy things from happening. How do you compare the MX-8 with other buggies? I think that it is as good as the best cars on the market. I would say you can get it. You can go to any track, any condition, and it will be just as good as the best possible car from any other brand there. That's a guarantee. I know that to be a fact. I would say that the benefit with the Mayako compared to the other brands right now is the ease at which you achieve that in any given condition. You don't have to do crazy stuff. The basic setup with just a few changes will work anywhere because you have the different front ends, KPI 0, KPI 1. You can move the engine forwards or backwards, diff forwards and backwards. So for the weight distribution, you have enough and the correct, I would think, adjustments on the links, arms, and hubs. So just sort of where the car is as standard and what you need to do to make it work good in any condition, that's easier than on many other cars on the market. Because I would say many other cars on the market, they are sort of extreme in one way, right? So they have something about them that is extreme. Maybe it's not even sort of easily visible to you when you look at it, but as a designer, when you understand, when you, like someone who understands coding looks at something, they'll have one opinion, and someone who doesn't get it just looks at the website and images and stuff, they'll have another. So if the code is all wrong and complicated and this and that, and you might not see it, but if you understand coding, like this website sucks. Like it's reloading all the images every time. So, I don't know, something dumb like that. So same way, like looking at a car, that, okay, because this car is like this, it will work in these conditions. In these other conditions, there'll be issues. So those kind of things are removed from the Mayako. You won't go somewhere where you'll have some seemingly sort of massive issue that you can't get over and you have to redo the whole setup. That's not going to happen. So that's one thing, like the good base of the car. And then the second thing I would say is the idea of Mayako and the community built behind it, because it's impossible for you to buy a Mayako and feel stuck. It's not possible, because you join the Discord and you have So many resources. There's maybe I can show you, like there's a whole wiki, like Wikipedia, but Wikipedia for the Mayako buggy. Let's see if I can log in here. I'll show you quickly. But there's just so much information available on the Discord. You can chat in different languages. You can go live. You can ask Ronefalk something. He can start a live video and show you how to, do something on the car. It's the access is just something that's not available from any other brand at the moment. I'll show you this wiki thing. So David Baumann from Austria, he's a lunatic, like me, I guess. He did this. It's amazing. Big thanks to Baumann, Basement Baumann, for this. But I hope there's nothing that I shouldn't show people publicly on here. But anyway, this is the wiki page for the buggy. So users create this content. Members can create content. They pull content from Discord that's good and put it on here. So there's all kinds of information about car setup, the different setup parts, how to identify them, what tow-in you get with different parts. All the different stuff we have here is listed. Option parts, like, okay, if you get these hubs, you need these other parts also. There's if you want to change from links to arms, what do you need? All this stuff is here. There's build tips. So if you have a particular servo, you needed to modify this part because of how the wire is made, or you front arm modification because pro socket wheels hit the head of the screw here. So if you don't want to Dremel wheels, you can do that instead. There's issues we've had. We have a sort of issue report system. So if a lot of people are having the same issue, we'll know because there are a lot of issue reports. So we can fix that. So there's all kinds of issues we've had. Old steering posts broke. Well, now we have redone them and now they bend. You can bend them that far before it breaks. So these will definitely not break anymore. So, all these issues we've had, we list them here, we fix them. And this is all user generated. So there's so much information here. It's constant development, constant work. It never stops. E-buggy, same thing. When we have a truggy, it's going to be here too. What else is here? So just set up sort of ideas and options. So drive shaft feeling. Felix has tried them and he had these good comments on Discord, so they were put here. So we gather all the information here so that people can find what they need when they need it. So that's definitely another thing that separates Mayako from the other brands, I would say, the accessibility and availability of support. Okay. For the book, what balance of initial grip and overall grip settings to make? Yeah, that would kind of be in that chapter of explaining the two. Okay, I think it's time to go. We will continue. I don't know when, because like I said, next week I'm going to South America for 3 weeks. And I don't know how internet will be there. Maybe Instagram lives for then. But when I come back, I'll continue doing these YouTube lives. Once I get going, hopefully more people tune in, more questions, and more ranting. But this was a easy start back into these lives. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. See you next time. How do I end this? There, I think. Cheers.